Hello and welcome back to Tequila Gundam Gaming. Today we have another deck profile for you, and today it's going to be the green-white Operation Meteor deck. Starting off, we're going to be playing 4 of Hero Yui in each of his links. So that's going to be 4 Wing Gundam, 4 Wing Gundam Bird Mode, and then I'm electing to play 4 Wing Gundam Zero. Now, the main strategy of this deck is to ramp into your big threats such as the Wing Gundam and the Wing Zero, and control the board from there, and generally outvalue your opponent, whether it be through higher stats or really strong on play and win paired effects. The Wing Gundam has the effect that it can attack active level 4 or lower units, so you can help take out your opponent's bodies immediately before they become vulnerable from swinging themselves. And it has Breach 5, meaning that when you do take out enemy units, you can do some piercing damage and take out most bases in the game, another life, and just really push aggressively. The Wing Gundam also has another keyword in addition to its on deploy. It has High Maneuver, meaning that it can attack and ignore blockers. This is just really strong for finishing out the game. It prevents your opponent from walling up with things like the Fritz and strike units and freedoms, and allowing you to still get in the lethal hit despite what board they may have. We're going to be playing 4 Hero Yui because he mainly supports all of these cards, but he has a good effect too, that during Link, he gives +1 attack and +1 health. So when combined with the other units, they just have a ton of stats that's difficult for most other decks to get through. For example, when linked with a Wing Gundam, it has a 7/7 stat line, which is very difficult for most things in the game to remove. And then of course, we have 4 Wing Gundam Bird modes. These have the effect that on deploy you'll get an EX resource. They're mainly here just so you can help get into these threats a lot quicker. There is a lot of aggro running around, a lot of small body vanillas, and without much defense you can get run over. So being able to get out your big threats as soon as possible is really important, and the bird mode is there to facilitate that. He is also a link target for Hero, of course, so if you feel like you need the tempo early on, you can link him to the bird mode and help control the board and take out bodies that way. Next, we're going to be playing 4 Gundam Death Scythe and 4 Duo Maxwell. This is the other half of the Operation Meteor package in here. The Death Scythe has the effect that when paired with an Operation Meteor pilot, so it could be either Duo or the heroes from earlier, it gains first strike for the turn and you get a rested resource. This is really good for curving out, since let's say you play this while you're level 6, you'll get a rested resource, and then with your resource per turn, you'll be at 8, so you're able to stop dropping zeros. But the first strike on Death Scythe is the real reason you want to play it. First strike means that you can play the Death Scythe and link it with Duo and immediately take out a body without taking any damage yourself. When linked, it has a 6/6 stat line, which is really good for overcoming a lot of key threats in the game right now, like the Gundam, which only has 5 attack on your turn when linked with an Amuro. And Duo has the effect that during link, his AP can't be reduced by enemy effects. So this means that he's a little hard for any opponents playing white to remove, so they can't reduce it with the effects like Kira. The Freedom's one paired effect or Unforeseen Incident are really common command. Now, the Operation Meteor Gundams are your main game plan, but as you can see, their levels are 6, 6, and 8. They can come out a little late, which is why we're going to be playing white. I'm running 4 Zawart, 4 Lafrith, and then 4 striker packs. These units are all blockers, and they're mostly just here to keep you alive and be more defensive in the early game so that you live long enough to play out your strong threats. Lafrith and Zawart are just the most efficient stats for their cost with blocker. And then the 4 striker pack, I'm playing 4 even though it can be a little difficult if you have multiple in your hand, just because the versatility of choosing what kind of token you want, either a 2/4 blocker or a 4/2 blocker, is really good, and it can really save you in some games where if you hit it in burst, you can get a free 3/3 blocker that can either help you survive another turn or maybe swing back once it passes back over. Next, for consistency, I'm going to be running 4 Overflowing Affection and 4 of the Path to Victory or Defeat. All of these cards are pretty simple in that they just help you filter through your deck and get to the cards you really want a lot quicker. Overflowing Affection comes in a lot earlier and can help you discard things you might have extras of. It can also help you discard things that you may not need in that stage in the game. For example, in late game, you don't necessarily want Zawarts or bird modes because you've already passed that need and you want to reach your big threats quicker, like the Wing Gundams and the Death Scythe. Path to Victory Defeat is a strong card looking at top 5, grabbing any Operation Meteor or G Team unit or pilot. This can help ensure that you get your links when you need them, and you can get them really reliably since that top 5 search is pretty huge, and you're running a good number of link targets for hero, and Death Scythe with Duo is just another really quick combo that can help take out things. Finally, I'm going to be running 2 Unforeseen Incident and 4 Underground Desert Base. In terms of what bases you want to run, you do have some choices like St. Gabriel Institute, but I'm choosing Underground Desert Base just because aggro can be a real struggle sometimes with this deck, and that 1 point of health does come up a lot more often than you'd think. Another thing is that all of these cards are good in the mirror. Having the 6 health is really important when Wing Gundam reaches 5, meaning they won't take out your base in 1 hit. An Incident is really good in the mirror since it can sometimes just completely destroy one of your opponent's plays. So let's say, for example, they're swinging a Wing Gundam linked into your Wing Gundam. Typically you would trade, but for just 1 resource, you can essentially take back a whole turn. All right, and that's going to be it for the deck list. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what other decks you'd like to see soon. This is Jake from Tequila Gundam Gaming signing off.